Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to Endless Legends Speedrun. Before we go on, I need to stress out that I did one tiny little bit of thing off camera, and that is I killed the seller. I needed to do it very quick because I had to move as the turn was ending, and I didn't capture that on camera because this battle was really boring and tedious. As you can see, for some reason the seller was actually receiving reinforcements of 2 militia, which I had to slaughter, which was easy but very boring. If you have watched any of my previous videos, like literally any of them, then you know exactly how to act in this situation. Have those guys protect your archer as your archer is killing all those melee units, and then be one happy family and see your enemy dead before you. That's basically the gist of it. There wasn't much to this battle, so I decided to skip it. Now, before we move on, however, I need to discuss... I need to discuss one thing that I did not previously mention in the last videocast that you have seen. And that is... what was it exactly? Oh yeah, I remember. Those are actually two things. First things first, the seller. I did not mention making those or wanting to make those ever. And there's a good reason. That's because I don't want to ever make any. As in, really, I don't really ever want to expand. Sure, there is a major faction quest that I will receive later down the line that will tell me to expand, and I might take it, but I probably will not. Now, the thing you need to realize is that those major faction quests, currently, they do not give you access to any victory condition. So even if you complete all your faction quests, you won't win the game. Unless it is going to change in the past, I mean in the future rather than the past. Unless it's going to be changed, that's the way it is. What major faction quests are is they encourage you to play outside of your comfort zone for some really nice rewards. That's all they do. So that's the reason why, for example, the Ardent Mages faction quest encourage them to overly expand, when in reality, Ardent Mages are amazing at building tall empires, by which I mean empires that do not have a lot of cities but have very powerful cities. Their faction quest, however, forces them to do the exact opposite. That's the idea that the developers have for the major quests. Make them strange, force the players to play outside of their comfort zones for cookies and whatnot, right? And it works for the most part right, but you need to realize that you don't have to fulfill your faction quest. It's okay if you don't. Try to, but don't feel obliged to do it. And that's what I'm going to do. It's because expanding right now is a pretty bad and dumb idea. All things considered, I'll have plenty of cities soon enough. I'm going to conquer this one, no doubt about that. And I'm going to conquer more in the future. And I'm not throwing clans, I can't move my cities whenever I want to. So, if I conquer a city in a bad spot that gives me a ton of unhappiness, then settling again in a good spot will not change that, because I'll still have a lot of unhappiness from the amount of cities I have. Pair that with the fact that I'm playing on endless difficulty and all the other problems I may encounter in the future, and sure enough, I'll have plenty of problems with unhappiness. As such, I do not dare to risk expanding, even though this location right here, so delicious. I mean, look at this area, so nice. But I probably won't go there. I say probably, I might change my mind in the future depending on how many AIs I can find and how quickly I can find them. But I probably won't expand. Unless, again, I will change my mind and then I'll talk about it. So yeah. Second thing I didn't mention in the last videocast. Well, that's actually because I'm supposed to mention it now, so never mind, it's just something new that came up. Right now, as you can see, I have decided to put my population on industry production. Why? Well, because the way I can do it right now, as you can see, is make a zealot each and every 10, which is quite substantial. 10 zealots in 10 turns? Oh yeah, sign me up for that, that's amazing! However, one slight little tiny detail. If you were to play this particular build I'm showing you right now, I wanted to be a warmonger, then have a quick look at this thing, no, this thing rather, and then go into this thing and look at this thing. 60 influence in order to declare a war on enemy AI. This cost never goes down, by the way, it only goes up. So you have to at the very least pay 60 influence in order to go to war with a single person, just one person, and that's it. And we want to go to war with everybody as quickly as possible. And while one is good enough for now, 60 influence is also quite a lot. So you need to really think about gaining as much influence as you can as early as possible. Sure enough, in Era 2, that's right, in Era 2 you do gain the ability to gain extra influence. I'll talk about that when we get there. However, what you also should consider is putting population in influence. Now this is very important and also something that I need to stress out. Do not take any number I say right now for granted. It's not like you should put 2 population in influence, or 1, or 0, or all of your population in influence. This is unfortunately something you have to personally judge, depending on what terrain you are on, what are your surroundings, are you surrounded by enemies, do you not see any enemies yet, even though you scouted, how much influence gain are you gaining per turn, how much can you gain, what are your quests that give you influence, what is your hero that can he give you any influence, stuff like that. You have to take it into consideration because there isn't one set formula. Basically, you do want to have some influence, but maybe it's more important to gain more, troops instead, or some other structures. So you have to focus on that yourself and think about that yourself. I'm sorry, there isn't one single tip I can give you about that. I can only express that if you feel like you can handle it, if you feel comfortable enough with it, please try to put somebody in influence. You will need it, trust me. I, however, got insanely lucky. Because have a look at that. My 2 minor faction quests. No, those are not even minor faction quests. I found those in ruins. The only 2 ruins I found gave me this. Both quests give me influence. 30 to be exact. So if I complete both of them, I gain 60 influence, which is just enough for war! This is incredible! You'll never have this kind of luck. I will never have this kind of luck either, probably. But since I did, I'm not going to start a new playthrough just to prove a point on how you're supposed to play without this kind of luck. I'll go with it because it's effing amazing and I never have good luck, so let me enjoy it, alright? Also, as I said, I already explained what you would do if you did not gain those quests. But I did, so I'm really happy right now because have a look at this. I'm actually fulfilling both of them. I gain enough science to fulfill one of them because of the pillars of knowledge I have placed down. And I gain industry as well because of how much population I have and how hardly I'm working on industry. So it's all good, and I'm really happy about it too. So there is that. Alright, what else do I need to talk about? Just this turn, I have finished language square. Good, very good in fact. What I need to do right now is go ahead and parley with those guys, which I cannot do unfortunately because I was in a battle that I declared. Oops. So I will need to click really fast next turn in order to parley, because otherwise those guys will attack me, and this will be a very difficult battle, because now demons actually have 2 movement in a battle, which might change again in the future patches, so you have to keep an eye on that. But either way, if they have more than 1 movement, they are scary. Literally scary, and also scary because they are actually scary. So yeah, I'll hope we trying to parley with them before that. It is really important that I not only parley but also pacify this village, because otherwise it will be very problematic. It will continue spawning Kazanji in my home region from which I'll attack the enemies. This will slow me down significantly, so I need to take care of those guys badly, even without my faction quests, being taken into consideration. Alrighty then. Tech, what else do I want? I do want to have some glass steel extractors. It is very important that I have them and that I start accumulating glass steel as quickly as possible, so that I have a stable enough amount, a stockpile of it if you may call it this way, that I can operate again in the future with Era 2 weapons and armor and whatnot. Because yeah, next turn we're actually in Era 2, believe it or not, that is exactly what is going to happen, and it's effing amazing. So yeah, brace for it because it's actually really kinda stellar. Yeah, I'm still amazed that it only takes 8 research to get to Era 2. It is going to be very useful, but there are still some things that we do want from Era 1 as well. For example, happiness we will want and we will need. Probably we might also need some extra dust or way of reducing our dust expenditure, or gaining more heroes, although that is less important right now because we might never get enough dust to actually hire them, although at the same time heroes are very important for our armies. But when you are a warmonger, this is something you need to keep in mind. When you are a warmonger, you can delay your rookery. I mean, you can get it later than you usually would, purely because, well, you're going to try and focus your economy, or rather steal somebody else's economy and use it as your own. So you can sacrifice a bit of economy you would gain from having more heroes that would actually boost your economy. You don't need to focus on heroes and you don't need to grab rookery as fast as a direct result of that. Regardless, however, rookery is important, so you should get it at some point regardless when you are playing as other mages who do need some better governors. And other generals as well, possibly, although their own generals are pretty good on their own. Alright, so there is that. That's done. Now I need to end the 10 and click very quickly. Not yet, not yet. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Can I click now? Not yet. Now I can click. Now I can click. Now I can click. Now I can click. Pali, pali, pali. Did I do it? Did I do it? Did I? The enemy attacked me? Yes, I did it! Alright, good. So now even if the enemy kills my army and my hero, which would be very bad, I still gain the quest, which is good. So now I not only parlayed with this faction, which brings me one step closer to my major faction quest, but also additionally I can already start dealing with this quest. So make sure there's no enemy army and... Shut up! There's no way I can find any useful adamantium ever! Or rather anytime soon, but still that's almost like never. Whatever, I guess I deserve a bit of unluck after the last time. Also, we are now in Era 2, on 10-2. This is significant. If that is not significant, then I don't know what is. Also, Ardent Mages have amazing track. I love it so much, just listen to it. Actually, on second thought, you're here for commentary, so don't. But either way, this is absolutely amazing. And what is this? We have a new Empire Plan development. Yes, we do. This is something that has changed in this branch update that you currently, at the time of watching this videocast, can play yourself. This is actually a public change that you need to enable in your betas option in Endless Legend. I explained how in my previous playthrough. And possibly in the future, this is just going to be something that is stably in the game. So... this is probably going to not going to change, although it might, so I need to warn you about that. Either way, on 10-10 right now is when you gain your first Empire Plan. Looking here, I also have access to Era 2 Empire Plan as well. Right away, if I had 30 influence, I could actually go for some Era 2 stuff, which is significant. It's exciting as well. It's just awesome. Either way, that isn't the case. I do not have 30 influence to actually spend on Era 2 stuff, but it's still fairly significant that on 10-2 I actually am in Era 2. As in, really, that's pretty good. Just let me say you that. Now, what do we want with our Empire Plan? Usually I would say, ignore it! Ignore it completely, you will need all influence you can get for war. But, because of how lucky I got with my runes, I can spend some influence. So I will spend influence on gaining even more units than before, because... why not? Let's have as big of an army as possible. It's going to be awesome. Alright, so there's that. There's a pointless faction quest. Now, as for the technology, here is where things get a little bit confusing, because again, it's something I'll talk about, something that you should do, but I will not. This thing. As you can see, this thing gives a kind of authority. In general, a very good thing, because it gives you the Pillar of Influence. Usually, Pillar of Influence is a fairly meh pillar. It's a pillar that you place down and it gives you bonus influence. Right now, for you, if you are a warmonger, there's nothing else that you need more than this Arcana of Authority. Purely because you most likely will not gain the minor faction quest that will give you a ton of influence. You will need to gain this influence yourself. And that is how you'd gain it. So yeah, this is fairly significant. This you don't need to bother with because that only improves your spells, not your pillars. And spells, you don't need to focus on improving them right now, it's not that important. So anyway, Arcana of Authority, this is what you should go for. Is this what I am going to go for? In all honesty, you know what, I might go for it regardless. Purely because this is what you should do, so I'll do it as well. Additionally, you never know, I might need it. Also, additionally, there's one other thing that is very important. This also gives us the incantation of Enervation, or whatever it's called, which is basically a cool name for a stunning spell, which allows you to stun enemies. That is pretty much the most important warmongering spell that you have in your book. Stunning the enemies is crucial. It is absolutely effing crucial, and you will need to use it as much as possible. So, yeah, again, no matter what, once again to Era 2, this thing first. Really, just grab it, please, for the sake of me and yourself. Now, this battle is fairly annoying, but I will have to manual it, because I don't trust auto battle not to F me in the A. It could possibly make me lose my entire army. And it is one demon. Sure, it is a very scary demon. Demons are really good at killing your early game army. And as such, I'm not sure how to position my units best. So let's think about this. This demon can fly and he has 2 movement. So, because he can fly fly in any way he wants with no movement penalty. So in 1 turn he will be here. In 2 turns he will be anywhere here-ish. So I need to not be adjacent to this area. So I need to walk back. My initiative is worse than the enemy's. Alright, I know what to do. Alright, good. So my units have to walk back 1 square. Then, by the time they have done this... Can you please... Alright, it is actually hidden away. Alright, good. By the time my warlocks have done this and moved here, the demon will be here. Then the demon will move again and stand somewhere on those tiles. And my warlocks should have the range to move back and attack the demon. That's what I'm going to try to do at the very least. Meanwhile, my hero is going to stand exactly where she stands, because she should be protected by warlocks and be able to attack the demon, hopefully fairly quickly. I'm not going to cast any spells because they will be useless for the first 2 turns. I mean, that's not true. On the second turn they will actually be useful, but in all honesty that would still be a relative waste. So I'd much rather wait and hopefully be able to cast them for full effectiveness on the second turn. So yeah. Also, I don't know how haste relates to attack, but let's just ignore it for the time being. Alright, demons move to this tile. Unexpected, not optimal. I'll deal with that though, I really will. Alright, so next turn for the demons, and they move to this tile, and I will have the high ground advantage unless my warlocks are completely retarded, which hopefully and thankfully they are not. So they're gonna go ahead and attack. 1 warlock is going to die. That had to happen. Minor faction units are really... Why did you go down there? Whatever. Minor faction units are really good, and if you think that you can face one and not lose your primary units that you get at the start of the game, then you are probably playing as World Walkers. That's all I can say. So, alrighty then, the demon is now dead. I lost a warlock, but it's not a big deal. And I have talked to those guys. What is the quest again? I completely forgot. It is... Make sure there's no enemy in this region for 5 turns. Should be easy enough. Alrighty then, what do I want to do next? Well, I need to talk to another minor faction village in order to fulfill my major faction quest. Additionally, I need to explore this area. Now, sure enough, there are 2 ruins that I really badly want to explore, but scouting around and finding another village is more important than exploring some ruins and wasting some time on that. So I just go ahead and continue exploring, looking at the perfect position to attack the city in the future, while also simultaneously looking for a minor faction within this territory that I could talk to, parley with, and hopefully pacify as well, so that they will be already pre-pacified when I take over this region. That's very important. Alright, my city is slowly but surely making zealots. Let's go ahead and make the zealot join my army. Ooh, he will not be able to do that this turn. That's bad, it is going to lower my dust income, but that's okay. Also, I think I forgot to put in glass extractor, which I need to do ASAP. If I did forget about it, then I'm sorry, you should not forget about it. It's a fairly big mistake. Not a crucial one, it's like 1 turn delayed, but still, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on it for me, please, will you? Jeez, English! Certainly not on my side today, is it? Alright, so one of my pillars of knowledge has just expired, and I have probably received a warning from voters. No! What am I going to do now? You know what? I wanted to declare war on me. Can I possibly taunt them into doing so? Since I'm going to gain 30 influence anytime now anyway, I might do it. Then again, I'm scared because I'll need to place down those pillars of knowledge, and this one is about to go away again. I will not have the dust to put it down again after that. That's a problem. I'll not waste this influence on oh, you know what? Just for the sake of it. Hey guys, oh, the declaration. Oh. Alright, so I finally get it. So the devs have mentioned something about changing the diplomacy. That's what it is right now. They have warned me. And as such lowered the cost of war. I think that's what it is, unless I'm being seriously effing dumb right now. I never could figure out this mention that the devs made. Alright, so that's how it works. Good. I never noticed that little thingy. I guess that's because I'm not a warmonger enough. Who would have thought, right? Alrighty then, so in this case, it doesn't change anything per se, but I'm slightly worried that I may have difficulties fulfilling this particular quest for science, because this pillar is about to go out in 2 turns. And then I'll need another, how much dust to renew it? Another 53. I'll wait for this pillar to expire as well, and then I'll place both of them down at the same time and save a bit of dust this way. I think that's the best thing I can do right now. Alright, dear zealots, please go ahead and join up with my main army because it's very, very important. Thank you very much. And now, unfortunately, I can barely move, but still, at the very least, I have a slightly stronger army. Still no minor faction village in the vicinity though, which is mildly problematic. Alrighty then. It's not a big deal though, so I don't care too much. Let's go ahead and finish this turn. And see what else awaits us in the bright future that is about to come. Something has finished producing, that's nice. Let's keep oh great, that's a cliff. That's okay, then I can just go ahead and continue exploring this way. More Sisters of Mercy. Okay, then looks like this area also has Sisters of Mercy in it. That's annoying because they are wolfless. Yay! I guess I'll have to deal with that, that's okay. Alright, so I now have the Influency pillars, which I would normally encourage you to put down. Thankfully, I don't have to, because, simply speaking, I'll probably gain enough influence for the faction quest, because yeah, indeed I will. Place one pillar like so, place a second pillar like so, and now I will fulfill my faction quest, no problemo. It's not a faction quest, it's just a ruins quest. Still, I'll fulfill it quite easily. Alright, Seratan, okay, she came from over there. Let's go ahead and look, but firstly, I do want to discover those ruins, so let's just go ahead and have a peek right there. What is inside? Dust! That's amazing, and now he also leveled up. Good, let's go ahead and give him extra reinforcement positions on army size, just because it allows us to get Biohem on next turn. I mean on next level up rather. And Biohem is just so good because it works on every unit, including the hero. And that's actually really good. First level of Biohem is not that amazing, it's just +1 attack. But once you level them up to maximum potential, that's 1 attack plus 2 attack plus 4 attack, yeah, that's +7 attack on each unit. Quite substantial, isn't it? It is, trust me, it is. Alrighty then, tech now. What do I want to do with technology? That's a fair question, and I would answer this gladly. I don't know. In all honesty, there are a few things you can go for right now. So, happiness is something you have to go through at some point regardless. However, it might be a better idea if you have some particular resources on your land already that you know you will be able to sell, to go for this instead, because this would allow you to actually start, selling your resources and whatnot, and I have already shown you how effective that is with my Roving Clans playthrough. However, when I zoom out, I don't even need to zoom out, but I'll just prove the point. I can see that I have glass steel, which I need, and nothing else in my area that I could exploit. There's a possibility that there is something hiding in the clouds, but most likely there isn't. In fact, I'm pretty sure that there isn't, because there's one question mark. So I guess there is something, but it's not substantial. So I don't have a lot of mineable resources. As such, I don't really care too much about the marketplace. But if you have resources, then it is a really good source of income, as I have shown you before. It is, however, a little bit for later games, so I guess it's not that good for, speedrun per se. What else do I want? Do I want Anchor Wings? Well, they are amazing, and you will know that I love them, but this is not something that I really want to focus on right now. Zealots are all I need for the time being, because it will take a while for anybody to be ready for them. Generally, against Zealots you want Cavalry, Rangers with better initiative, which is kinda easy to accomplish, and Flyers, and that's it. I'm currently facing Voters. Voters do have Rangers that have better initiative, but they are so much weaker that I don't care, and I do not need to have Anchor Wings just because of Voters. If I were facing Necrophagers, I would rush Anchor Wings, because Anchor Wings are really important to have, because they are fairly good at fighting against Necrodrones. They're not the best, Necrodrones can just out-zag Anchor Wings, but Anchor Wings can give you range units a moment of breather while they are trying to shoot down the enemy. So yeah, against Necrophagers, sure. Anchor Wings. Against Voters? No, not necessarily, no. So what do I want right now? Weapons. I just want weapons. Because Glasty weapons will not only increase my initiative, but additionally they will also increase the amount of damage I deal. And with Rangers, especially with Zealots, what you want to do is just fire once and kill somebody. And be done with it. And if you fire before this somebody even does anything, that's even better. So you really do need to have as much initiative and damage as possible, and the alchemical alloys will guarantee that you do just that. Now there are other options that I could possibly recommend you to think about. For example, this is really nice. Lumber Mill. If you have the titanium to spare and you are in a terrain with forest, for warmongers it is actually really useful. It really is. But it is not the top priority, because it's only one extra production from terrains with forest. So once you gain, let's say two cities, for example, that's what I meant to say, then yes, it is useful. It is also useful if you are literally surrounded by forest completely and if you have the excess stockpile of titanium, then you can use it like so. Otherwise, however, I would encourage you not to go for it, because it's too expensive for its own worth, and canal system is much better, because this 30% production from city usually is better than what you would gain otherwise from those extra forest tiles around your city. What else could you go for? Extra food? Nah, that's not the warmongering way. Heroes? Yeah, heroes are possibly a good idea. Dust is also possibly a good idea. Less dust spending is also a decent idea, although the worst of all of the ideas I have discussed up until now. Now, also boats are also a good idea if you happen to be playing not on Pangea or whatever, but since I am, I'm obviously not going to go for this, thank you very much. Trinkets are also very important, but not as important as weapons. So I think I covered everything right now, so now I can just go ahead and continue playing, thank you very much. Alright, where are my units? Right there. What I'll try to do is... No, you're not going over there. Is try to click right there as quickly as possible, because I don't want to fight this certain if I can avoid it, because hey, it's an unnecessary battle that I will be in regardless. Alright, so let's think about the positive. It will discover a lot of terrain for me because it will be in manual, and possibly discover the location of minor faction village, which it did not. Great, it's possibly down there. Hopefully, maybe. We will see, I guess. Alrighty then, it's a Seratan. Ceratans are pretty bad. They're notorious for being pretty bad. They have Cocoon, which is okay, interesting, but not very good. And is it a... Oh yeah, it is a cliff. Oh boy, I can totally do this. Move my units like so, and now this Ceratan is basically dead. Even if it was a more powerful unit, it's dead, because my positioning right here is just effing beautiful. So let's do it like so. You just guys, all of you, hold your ground and kill this bastard from afar. Now, because I do not need to focus on this as these units are closing in on each other, let's see what else is there. I gain population in my city. They gain range attack? Yes! Alright, now I need to explain this. Firstly, I'm surprised because I have not actually fought against Ceratan in dispatch or in my VIP build. I actually never did. It happens, right? It really does. But they used to be range units way back when I first got to play Endless Legend, way before release. They were also overpowered as F. I hated their... It's hard to express how much I hated them. They would destroy entire armies with little to no problems. They're horrible. I hated it so much. But right now making them ranged was really necessary because they were so bad. And now they can attack again with this super creepy animation that always creeped me out when I saw it. I actually kind of miss now that I think about it. I miss the times when they were melee, oh well. Because their animation, their range animation is so creepy. Please simple to just give them bows. I can't stand the creepy animation. It's so creepy. Anyway, things are progressing nicely over here. Let's just make more zealots just for the sake of it. Again, another population. Again, usually I would encourage you to put this into influence, but because I will easily gain enough influence in the nuclear war, I'll just focus on... Actually, I'll put this guy on food, because I'll still gain a lot of zealots, more than I need in fact right now, to conquer those guys. So yeah, why bother? I mean, I'll tell you why bother, because later down the line we will be able to sell the excess and also... Seriously? Where did this guy come from? And also there are solstices that also want to kill me for no reason. Alright. I'll manual this and then stop watching this battle because I can. And there we go, this is where this village is. This is why I'll manual this battle, because obviously it is very important that I do. Alright, so since now I know that those guys can attack me from afar, I'll try to close in as quickly as possible, which I can only do after those guys actually arrive at the destination. Thank you very much. And those guys go over here, right, nice, do that. And then just kill those guys as quickly as possible. Right, alright. So this should be the notification that I have discovered Ceratan. Indeed I have, thank you game. This is the battle, good. This is the fact that I can now assimilate the Kazanji. Do I want to? No. Do you want to? Possibly, although keep in mind that in the current build Kazanji are not as awesome as they used to be. Because they used to be all unique and stuff, and they used to give you a flat bonus to influence, which was really good early game, really bad late game. Right now, unfortunately, they are boring. They are just sensible per se, and I liked them when they were original and give you a flat bonus instead of a non-flat bonus. Either way, if you are struggling with influence, I would highly encourage you to assimilate them right away. As it stands, I don't need them because I have other flyers that are in my opinion better, or at least more interesting and cool looking. And I don't need this influence, so I'll not assimilate them just yet, because I don't need this influence and I would rather keep my influence for other reasons. Like, for example, maybe declaring war on somebody else in the future, or going for a different empire plan. Alright. Yes, I know that the cousin G now like me, that's okay. It's really nothing new. Nihil Novi. Let's go ahead and continue moving. I'm now getting 0 dust per turn, which is not entirely optimal, but it is something I can deal with. Again, this is yet another sign that I should probably look into getting more dust per turn, and as such I think I'm just going to go ahead and outright queue up the empowerment. It is something that you're probably not going to be able to run away from as the Ardent Mage. You'll be using a lot of dust, and you'll be needing a lot of dust as well. It's just a fact. But, as it stands right now, this videocast is long enough already. At least 30 minutes, according to my time, it's over 30 minutes. So, I'll end it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it was PANCZASU, also known as the Mighty Mixpower. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see what quest we gain. That's the major faction quest. Let's ignore that. I have to go to ruins. And minor faction... No! For a second I was excited, and then I noticed it's bring back 20 glass steel. Nope, not gonna happen. Thank you very much. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.